Hello YouTube, this is Taladan of Tal's Minecraft. Welcome to Tal's Minecraft Let's Play. Um, as you can see, I have proceeded ahead. I've been having some problems with my video capturing. It has not been capturing video and audio correctly. I lost audio about halfway through the episode 2 that I had recorded and did not realize it until it basically just cut out on me, or until I opened it up to test it and realized that at 8 minutes it had cut out on me, and I did about 30 minutes worth of video. So instead of going through and dubbing that, because I haven't gotten that much further ahead, all I've added are an electric furnace, actually 2 electric furnaces, 2 mace raiders, a battery box from Industrial Craft, and I have added some solar panels, and the audio's being kind of wiggy, but we'll try this out here. Um, I have added solar panels here. Stuff out in my test world, but I've added some solar panels here to power that stuff. I've also created up a wheat farm. Nothing automated or anything like that. But it's doing pretty well. So I think what we're going to do today is we are going to try and proceed a little bit. I'm a little bit at a loss right now because I've been dealing with this for the last couple of days, 2-3 days, trying to get everything working correctly. And as you may realize from the fact that my audio and video isn't doing what I want it to, it's obviously not working correct. So I have gathered some more ores and add a little bit more storage here. And if the audio is kind of crackly on this, I apologize. There's not really anything I can do about it because there are no extremely dependable solutions for screen capture in Linux. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and show you the recipe for the solar panels, and I think that may help you guys out. What you need to do is you need to macerate 3 pieces of coal, have 3 pieces of glass, you need a generator, and 2 of these electronic circuits. I'm actually going to go ahead and make 2 circuits because I need a circuit for something else. Alright, we take our copper. Actually, that won't work. Take our copper here, and 3 pieces of copper make an insulated copper, our cable, and we take that, put it beside rubber, and it makes copper cables. And same recipe, refined iron, redstone, and surround that top and bottom with copper cables, makes 2 electric circuits. So we've got our 3 coal dust and our 3 glass, and we've got an extra generator here that we were using. Coal dust, coal dust, coal dust, circuit, circuit, and then glass, glass, glass gives us a solar panel. Excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and pop that bad boy right down there, and as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 solar panels on ultra low current cable that's just made out of tin, and with it carries the current down to the bat box. Bat box charges up and carries current or EU through the copper cable to the machines. So that allows us to run without having to burn coal all the time, which is a good thing. Now the next thing that I want to make is I want to make an extractor. I believe it is, if I remember correctly, it's a machine block, it is a circuit, and it's 4 taps, but let's see. Yep, machine block circuit and 4 tree taps. So what we want to do, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each of these, and that will allow us to make 4 tree taps. And then we put our electronic circuit, our machine block, and our 4 tree taps. And machine block is simply 8 pieces of refined iron in a square, leaving the center hollow. That gives us our extractor. Now if you remember, the extractor, or excuse me, the iron furnace, if we put a piece of sticky resin in here, it will give us 1 piece of rubber. The extractor, if we put 1 piece of sticky resin in there, it will slowly build up, but it will actually give us 3 pieces of rubber for 1 piece of sticky resin. So it is more efficient at producing rubber than just burning the resin in the furnace, which is definitely what we want when we get started with industrial craft. I need to go and harvest some more sticky resin. I don't think I've got any more. No, I don't have any more in there. Let's actually get 2 tree taps. And again, when you harvest these, don't harvest them multiple times. You can harvest them multiple times, like I could click there again and maybe get more resin out of it. However, if I do that, I have a good chance of damaging that resin port on the tree, and if I damage it, then it won't produce resin anymore, which over time, if I just click once, over time those spots will reproduce resin. It'll come up on there on its own over time. So my audio sounds kind of weird in my headset. I don't know how it's gonna sound in the recording, so I'm hoping the audio will work for this. But we're going to go ahead and do a full 30 minutes and see what we see. Alright, it's getting dark, so I want to come on back inside here. And as you see, I got 36 pieces of sticky resin, and we will put that in there and let it begin to manufacture for us. Okay. Now, I also, in that episode, made a divining rod. And a divining rod is actually fairly simple to make. I'll show you how to make those. Give me just a second here. Get everything that I need. I need cobblestone. I also need a piece of charcoal. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a piece of charcoal, and check those, make sure I don't have anything in there. We take our charcoal, put it in our crafting table, and then fill up the rest of the slots with cobblestone, and that makes low covalence dust. Okay. Now, and I'll go ahead and take that because I can always use that. Now the next tier of covalence dust, medium or mid covalence dust, is it's not refined iron, It's regular iron, and I picked up the wrong thing. It's just a regular iron ingot and a piece of redstone, and that gives us mid or medium covalence dust. And the last covalence dust is diamond and coal. And I can go ahead and make some more of that. Diamond and coal. And that's high covalence dust. Now, to make a divining rod, we take a stick. Actually, I want to go ahead and grab these. We take a stick, you surround it with low covalence dust, and it creates a first tier divining rod. Now the first tier divining rod detects values, EMC values, of stone, ores, whatever, in a radius of 3 high by 3 wide by 3 deep. So if I hit this middle block right here, it's detecting 3 wide by 3 high by 3 deep. It detects a value of 1. Excuse me. 1 is generally stone, cobblestone, dirt, things like that. And each thing has its own particular value. We take our mid covalence dust surrounding the low or the first tier divining rod, and it makes a second tier divining rod. Now this is a little bit longer range. This is 3 wide by 3 tall by 16 deep. So it's either 16 or 12. I don't remember. I think it's 16 though. But see, we're still really high. If you look over at the map, we're on level 63. So that means that mostly cobble and dirt. 256, probably some coal down there. Okay. Now, if I take that second level or tier 2 divining rod and surround it with high covalence dust, it gives us a tier 3 divining rod, which you'll see I've already got in my inventory here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one here, just in case I fall in lava and die. Now, I can take this tier 3 divining rod downstairs here, and the thing about the tier 3 is, if I hit G on my keyboard, I can change it to short, mid, or long. 3 by 3 by 3, 16 by 3 by 3, or 64 by 3 by 3. So this will tell me, when I come down here and measure, within 64 blocks, it's found a value of 49,152, second best is 32, third is 0. Now I know that the 49,152 or whatever it is, the 49,000 value is uranium. I'm going to find some uranium within 64 blocks. And I know some people would be like, well, you know, how can you know that? Each item in equivalent exchange, and divining rod is an equivalent exchange item. See, there's my uranium. Now I can test again. Best found is 512. Now that's within 64 blocks. But anyways, each item has a particular EMC value. Okay, and that's what equivalent exchange is based on. Is the idea that this item here, stone, cobblestone, dirt, is equivalent, has an EMC value that is equivalent to 1. Anything else that has an equivalent value of 1, you can exchange those for. If you add enough into a table or whatever, you can then find, trade up for items or down for items, however you want to do that. And that takes a transmutation table, transmutation tablet, which is another device you get later on. But you see here, this is a tunnel that I've dug out in an earlier episode that you didn't get to see because the video or the audio went out. So what you do is you can go along and you can target specific values. Like if I hit this 16384, I know that's tungsten. But if I go down here, point straight down, 512 is the best value. That means 10 ore is probably a 512 EMC. So if I need 10, I can go around looking for 512 EMC. So you can target specific values to help you find ores. Now in this one, I know that 16384 is tungsten, just because I've played with equivalent exchange long enough that, ooh, look, I found some diamonds. Now sometimes you will get the diamond value and that'll be it, and you find those diamonds, or see 16384 still up there. Or you may get something like tungsten that overmasks the value of the diamonds, and I never rely on the second value because you don't know if it's giving you a correct value or not. But the first value you can depend on. If it says 8192, there's a diamond in there somewhere within 64 blocks. So, oh, tainted crystals, awesome. So, what you do is you target using the divining rod that 8192 to find diamonds, or 16,000 for tungsten, because you can transmute one tungsten ore into 2 diamonds. 8192 is half of the 16,000 whatever. So, and I could do the math in my head, but I'm not going to. So, you also want to keep hitting every now and then so that you can be sure that you're going in the right direction and that you haven't missed it. Remember, it does it in a 3x3 by X direction. X being the distance depending on the strength of the divining rod that you're using. See if I can kill myself in lava here. Alright, now we want to hit our divining rod again. Okay, 49,152 means that we have picked up a uranium within 64 blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and block off so I don't have mobs coming in here behind me. But tungsten is still up here somewhere. Oh, don't want that to happen. We got iron. And if you want to see a particular value of something, you can always hit short range, boom, 256. So now I know that 256 is the value of iron. So if I have to find iron, all I have to do is go look for an EMC value of 256. Now, you notice I shifted to mid-range, and I got 16384. So I know I'm within 16 blocks of tungsten. So I'll start, bam, tungsten right there. See? So I will measure around and make sure that I get all of the tungsten ore so that I'm not missing any. 320, 256. So I know there's probably some more tin or something over here, or iron. Tin and iron have the same value, so. And there's my uranium that I saw. So that helps me target my longer range rod. Helps me target specific items within a distance of up to 64 blocks away from the point that I'm standing, or the point that I am measuring from. And this is nickelite. And this has a value of light doesn't apparently register on the MC value. Either that or it only has a value of 1. So, which I'm not going to worry about trying to find that uranium right now because I'm not in a hurry to build a nuclear reactor. So, the divining rod, definitely a lifesaver. We've already found 5 diamonds, 3 tungsten, which these are each worth 2 diamonds. So that's 6 more diamonds. That's inside of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Almost a dozen diamonds that we found, plus 2 uranium. So if you haven't played with a divining rod, then you are really cutting yourself short, because it is definitely the best tool to use to help cut down on the amount of time you spend gathering resources. It is more precise than setting up a buildcraft quarry or a quarrying device with red power because you can target specific items. Now that doesn't mean that setting up a buildcraft quarry has no value. Sure it does. It just means that if you need diamonds, you can target specific items. You can target those diamonds. So the other good thing is you can take mid-range covalence dust, take your tools, and it should repair your tools. So I took and put 3 pieces of covalence dust around my sapphire pickaxe, and it's back up to 100%. I don't have to waste sapphires to make another one. And all it cost me was a 20th or a 30th of the of 8 pieces of cobblestone and a piece of charcoal. No, that's a 20th of a piece of iron and a piece of redstone. So things like that are something you definitely need to keep in mind whenever you're trying to conserve resources. That will help you build your resources faster and keep from wasting them whenever you're just starting out. As you can see now, I've literally only played this world about 6 hours, roughly, give or take, half an hour. So in 6 hours, I've been able to set up a rubber farm, set up a wheat farm, so I'm not going to starve to death, set up my core industrial craft machines and power source for them, and a pretty good area of storage and a mining area. Have I been lucky? Sure, I found some diamonds within the first hour or two of mining, but that doesn't really matter in the long run because I'm not using those diamonds. I haven't used them for anything except for making covalence dust. And if in 6 hours you can't find a diamond or 2, you're mining in the wrong areas. You need to mine at level 10 or below, and just go in a straight line. You'll find diamonds eventually. It's impossible not to find diamonds eventually. If in 6 hours you haven't found diamonds, something's wrong. You probably need to either pick up and move or regen your world or something like that. With that said, I'm not growing this wheat for any particular reason other than I like the way the wheat field looks, and I like having the extra food laying around so I don't starve. That's the other thing that you have to worry is you have to pay attention to what your future needs are going to be. And I know most of you guys play in a way where you set up a farm or whatnot, because of the things that it provides you. But most of the people who have ever watched me stream or watched me play, or played on a server with me know that when I do something, generally I go big, and there's a reason for that. Better to have too much of one thing or too much of something and not need it than it is to need it and not have enough of it. So my motto is always plan for 3 or 4 times the amount of stuff that you think you're going to need. Um, like right now, I don't need all this bread. Have no need for it. But it is an easier way to store wheat. So, plus, I'm not going to starve. So that way, I can always know that I'm going to have some goods there when I need them. Now I need to go back and replant this, and we're getting down to the wire. We got about 5 minutes left, and then I'm going to have to make sure the video and the audio is running. Now you may notice that there may be a lag between the video and the audio. If there is, I have tried putting in the setting that will correct for that. Like I may be talking about, and we're going to put the coal in the furnace, and either it hasn't happened yet, or it happened, 30 seconds ago or 15 seconds ago or whatever. If that is the case, I apologize now, and I will attempt to continue to correct it. But again, there are no really reliable screen capture software for Linux. I have tried GTK Record My Desktop. I've tried Record It Now, which basically is a front end for Record My Desktop. I'm back to using FFMPEG, which normally it does the job for streaming, but there usually is an audio lag, and the audio is a little bit poppy, or snaps and pops in the audio, or a little bit of garbling in the audio. So right now I'm just stuck with working with what I've got, and this is what I've got. So I really don't like the idea of having to put up with a Windows machine just to stream or broadcast. But if it comes down to that, I may consider setting up a small Windows virtual machine or something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if it's worth having to administer a Windows box just to be able to do that. I wish there were something like Fraps or XSplit or something like that for Linux. Alas, there is not. So we have gotten down to about 3 minutes, and I know that I talked for about 3 minutes to begin with before I started my little timer. So I think what I'm going to do, this looks like a good drawing down point. No, I haven't really done anything today other than made the solar panel and explained what was going on. But hopefully the next episode, I hope to get into, assuming that this episode makes and you guys actually get to watch this, I hope to get into doing some equivalent exchange stuff, with the intent to move forwards towards Thaumcraft and a couple of the other mods that I've got. Excuse me. I know I'm going to have to do something about storage here. So if you guys like what you see, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, throw it up on Reddit, share it on Facebook, whatever you guys do. Give me some good feedback, good karma, so that many more people enjoy the series. If you don't like what you see, feel free to throw that in the comments too. Don't start any flame wars. Be polite. But if you think I'm doing something wrong, or you think something sucks, please feel free to say so. Like I said, there are certain things that I can't do anything about, the audio quality being one. Any video audio lag. I have been working on this for over a year, trying to perfect getting FFmpeg to stream and screen capture. And there are not a lot of people out there that are screen capping video games on Linux. So hopefully somebody who is a programmer will see this and see that there is a need for this, because I believe more people would do that. So anyways, this looks like a good cutting off point. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe, and have a great day, have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.